AI marketing is 30 billion US dollars in 2020. It's gonna be 10x in 2025, which will be around 300 billion dollars US dollars, and that's gonna be huge. So today in this episode of Fast Track 2025, we will talk about how virtual influencers are changing the marketing and also why it is linked to flow. Before we proceed, a quick disclaimer. This is not an investment advice. This series is only for educational purposes. Now, if you have not heard about Shudu, now Shudu is going great in the virtual world in regards to the marketing. If you go to Instagram, she has over 200,000 followers. We have Miquela. Miquela has 3 million followers on Instagram, and these are all live accounts. You can go and check the profile. Now, why people are following Miquela? Well, the reason is very simple. She has done ads for Prada, she has done ads for Chanel. Now, who really hires these digital supermodels? Well, these are the big companies. Coke has done it, and you name it, and big companies. Mercedes has done it. Similar to Shudu and Miquela, we have Ima, we have Nori, who has great followers, and it is increasing. Now, let's talk about what is a virtual influencer. Now, these digital supermodels that we have seen in the previous slides, whether it's Shuru, whether it's Miquela, they're all come into the category of virtual influencer. Now, these are nothing but a computer-generated imagery. Now, how the firms make these images, that is all based on a data analysis project, that what kind of audience is looking at what kind of content on the internet, and then they create this image. Now, there is one company who believes in making the supermodel really looks like a human. Case in point, we have Shuru. But there are companies who want to make this image looks like at least 30% human, not more than that. So there are different concepts. As I said, that this type of marketing is still emerging, and more and companies are getting into it. Coming years, it will get more sophisticated and more defined in the coming years. Now, CGI is one thing. Now, while they are building this character, they have their emotional relationship with the audience. They have their life stories. They have their relationship statuses, their background, their history that is getting immersed in the story of these characters, so people can relate to, and people are connected, and that's why we have a million followers. Now, the other big aspect is the brand can really control the content. They're not relying on the celebrity, what he or she is going to say, but that the human aspect, which are the emotions that sometimes go against the organizations, right, or the companies. Here, it's not the case. This is a purely computerized influencer. You can write your own content. As I mentioned, they have their life story, so they're adding aesthetics into it, beliefs and values. Now, volume of conversation, it's no-brainer that with this kind of CGI influencer, you can have thousands of conversations. Of course, you need to have a lot of back-end work to make sure that you have the right content. But if it's available, it has to be uploaded on the internet and people can view it. Rather than you need to first look for the time of the celebrity and who can do the ad for your agency or the company. You need money for that, huge money for that. So those kind of things, like as I mentioned, that time, space, and money is very limited when you think about the traditional model. Now, as I mentioned, that there is a lot of data analysis which is happening, a huge big data analysis that's been happening at the back end of identifying the audience, and then accordingly they are making these imageries. Now, why so much of importance on this episode on CGI? Now, it is absolutely linked with the blockchain, so let me really break the news on that. So NFT startup Dapper Labs has acquired Trude, which is a virtual influencer startup which is going guns, and that's the company who created Miquela. So after NBA Top Shot, CryptoKitties, getting into UFC, Dapper Labs is moving towards this area, which is again huge. Now, this puts a lot of faith in Dapper Labs because they're the people who created the blockchain flow. And there are a lot of content, a lot of things going to go on flow eventually in the coming years. I'm not probably talking about a year or so, but maybe few years later. This is a quick snapshot of how many NFT secondary sales that have happened. Flow is absolutely leading the chart on NFT secondary sales, ahead of Ethereum and Polygon. Before we close this video, as I mentioned, that CGI is a big thing in the marketing in the coming years. Dapper has acquired Brood, which is a creator of Miquela, one of the CGI most famous in the world. Now, a quick snapshot of the backend investors, and you can relate the faces. Will Smith, Ashton Kutcher, you have Michael Jordan, who are the initial investors of Dapper Labs. So a huge faith on this particular project. So, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll come up with the next video and have a fantastic week ahead. Thank you.